know why, because as far as artistry and rapping, he's one of the best to ever come out of this city.
That's a
okay?
fact.
I think the issue that people had with Luda was
What's up, world? It's your boy Big Court of the Holdin Court Podcast. You already know what it is, and we here one more again, another fire episode. And of course, where we at, man? We down in the ATL getting it in again. Yeah, we didn't move in down here. We done planted our flag down here. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I got my oldest daughter, my beautiful oldest daughter, Rachel Renee. What's going on?
World? What's good?
Yeah, you excited about this?
Yes, I am.
Hey,
We done pre-gamed.
Yeah, we got it, Shawty. We gotta get the accent right, Shawty. You know what I'm saying? We ATL.
Gotta put a little bit more owl in there.
That
owl.
Hey, we got a special guest in the house, man. Listen, when he came in, I called him the mayor of the city. You know, I called him the mayor of the city. Everybody who's anybody and somebody goes and sits down and talks to this man. He's been in radio for years. He's got one of the best platforms, and that's a fact because I'm a fan of it. And he was gracious enough to let me be on the platform.
Hey, appreciate you coming through that thing too, Court.
Yeah, man. We got the homie Beehive. What's good, bro?
What's happening, man? How y'all doing in this
thing? Good. Beehive ATL, man. I appreciate you coming.
Well, Court, some calls you just don't, play. Okay. When Court said he coming in town, I said I got to pull up on my boy, man.
Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I just want to give you your props, bro.
Thank you.
Since we connected a few years ago, man, you have always been so helpful, so gracious, just 100, you know what I mean? Anytime I reach out to you, whether it's a question about podcasting, business, or even a connection with somebody, you never gatekeep. You always just, I got you, bro. Here, I got you, whatever. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that.
No problem, Court, but I have to commend you, sir, because, you've been getting bigger and blacker over those last 2 years, okay? This man breaks the net every week. I'm on my timeline, and I'm seeing Big Court doing this thing, too, sir.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate that, but I'm going to be honest with you. I studied Beehive.
Oh,
you was one of, so listen, I've been on record. If you go back to interviews that I did 2-3 years ago, I think even when I was on No Jumper, and they said, well, how'd you get into podcasting? Man, during quarantine, I got tired of watching cable, and I watched everything. I started watching podcasts. I was watching Vlad, Gangster Chronicles, and Beehive.
My God,
that's
crazy. That's crazy as hell to me.
That's a fact. I'm on record saying that, and this is even before we met. So when I came down to Atlanta, I was like, man, I got to do Beehive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, we had a good time
we
that
did.
day too.
I appreciate it.
Sir.
I appreciate it. I felt like I had arrived when I came to Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And then the thing about it, everybody speaks so highly of you because when I had I hooked up with Jazzy. My homegirl, Jazzy McBee.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was like, she was like, where you going next? I said, I'm going to Beehive. She was like, oh, Beehive's the nigga.
That's my homegirl.
Yeah.
We all grew up together in this thing. Me and Jazzy, we was literally almost freshmen in this whole radio game and media game together. So, the things that she got going on out here, she got a morning show now.
Man, yeah.
It's crazy.
Jazzy doing her thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Jazzy McBee. She's on vacation this week because she came to the show. Oh, you saw it?
Oh, she's baddie right now.
Oh, okay.
Getting it in.
Yeah. Hey, I want to start from the beginning just a little bit, just to touch on your history, bro. So you from here, Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised.
That's right.
What's the background, bro? Hold on. 2-parent household?
Yeah.
All right. So we batting 99.9%.
Yeah. Okay.
Talk about it.
Now, they didn't stay together the whole time, but we started that way.
Yeah. Right. But you have recollection of.
Oh yeah, they got a divorce when I was 6, but my brother and sister had more time, and I was the baby.
Okay.
But we were together, and my daddy, he played a major role in my life. From that point all the way up until he passed. So for me, I was born Atlanta, Georgia, Crawford Long Hospital, Kai Heights Elementary on the west side, Southwest Middle School, also known as Gene Childs Young Middle School on the west side, southwest side. And I graduated from Mays High School on the southwest side too. After graduating from Mays, I went to Clark Atlanta University where I majored in radio, television, and film. And from that point, then I started working in radio as a volunteer/intern until I got an entry-level position as a board op. And then that's really where the story began for me. But growing up on the west side of Atlanta, is the best place in the world.
Yeah.
You got some of the best people in the world. You see everything. You got mayors coming out of this area. You got, doctors, lawyers, musicians, business people, all kinds of folks that you can look up to and admire. And, kind of pattern your career and your life after. So that's one of the beautiful things about Atlanta is because, this is a city where the excellence is in the hood.
What's up, world? It's your boy, Big Court of the Holdin Court Podcast, and I am the co-founder of the OG Network. And if you're enjoying this episode and you want to watch the full episode, then what I need you to do is go download the OG Network. Available on Roku, Google Play, Fire TV, and Apple Mobile. And again, if you liking this and you want to watch the full episode, because we only giving you a little bit over here, go watch the full episode on OG Network. Go download the app now. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Salute.
Okay, yeah, you find the excellence in the hood. Yeah, I mean, in the West End, that's one of the most cultural places in the city. That's was the home of Jamil Al-Amin, who, he's locked down right now, but he was living in the West End with everybody else.
Wow.
Then you had politicians and everything else living in the West End, professors, and all kind of, professional people in the West End, along with your regular, normal, everyday working class people, and then your trappers and your hustlers too.
Yeah. Wow.
So, that was the beauty of it all. And I wouldn't change my, experience as a child in Atlanta with no place. Being able to see Black people on a regular basis and seeing nothing but greatness coming off of them, being instilled with the pride of being a Black person in America, because, your schools are named after Black people. So I'm going to Benjamin E. Mays, you got Frederick Douglass, you got Gene Young, Martin Luther King, and all of these different schools that are named after great Black people. You have no choice but to know your history, but to also know that you can be just as great as the person that, school you attend.
Man, that's dope. So what helped and kept you on track and not going the dark route?
Well, see, that's the other part about growing up in the hood. Everybody's going to go the dark route at some point or another because it's just there, just like everything else. However, for me, I was more of an observer. Once you get to a certain age and you're 16 and your friends start dying and you're 18 and your friends start getting life in prison, you realize that, this ain't nothing that I want to be a part of. I'm out of here. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. If you see your friends dying as a teen and the rest of them going to prison for life or murder, you say, I'm not built for this.
Hey, I had that conversation with myself.
Yeah, exactly.
In jail. So when I was 15, I'm sitting up in there in jail like, oh shit, this the other part of it.
Exactly.
Damn. I don't like this part.
You don't like that part of the
I
song?
don't like that part. I don't
Come
think
on,
I'm gonna do
man.
this.
Come on.
Do this.
And these is people that you grow up with because, like you say, you're on the west side of Atlanta, so you're growing up with future doctors, lawyers, mayors, and everything else. But you're growing up with also, future, killers and hustlers and everything else. We all growing up in the same pot together, having the time of our lives. And that was, folks just picking different career paths. But some of them were a little bit less fruitful than others.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm curious. So what made you want to go into like a communications major? Like where was that seed planted?
Well, I always had love for the music. So, I was in high school and I knew I needed to go to college, but I had only applied to one college and that was Clark Atlanta University. So if I didn't get in, my life might have went in a whole different direction because I was just being a Negro at that time. Like, I will apply to one school, I should get in here, but if I don't, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But I went in there and then also I looked at the curriculum before I went in there and I saw Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 and I was like, okay, I took that in the 7th and 8th grade. I can do that.
Yeah.
And I was into music and I liked talking to people. I was always, a conversationalist in school the whole time. So, it wasn't nothing to get kicked out of class because I just won't stop talking or won't start laughing, won't stop cracking a joke. And the teacher be like, hey, you got to get out of here. So I was like, you know what? That's the gift, gift to gab, to be able to talk to people so that it would only make sense to get into communication and try to figure out a way to exploit this gift that I knew that I had.
Yeah.
What's up, world? It's your boy, Big Court of the Holdin Court Podcast, and I am the founder of the OG Network. Now, listen, we're all out here chasing our purpose. Hopefully, you're not just chasing the paper, but when you're moving at the speed that I move and you travel as much as I do, who's got time to be stuck in the kitchen, right? That's why I rock with Factor. No planning, no cooking, just straight excellence. Now, Factor makes healthy eating easy with chef-crafted, dietitian-designed meals delivered straight to your door. Now, my go-to has been their truffle corn and chicken lasagna. It's got that rich truffle flavor and it's packed with lean protein and whole foods with no refined sugars or artificial sweeteners. Now, I know that's probably making y'all hungry right now. Now, Factor keeps it fresh with 100 different meals rotating every week. I like the new Muscle Pro collection, supporting strength and recovery. You know I'm always trying to get my buff on. Now head to factormeals.com/BigCourt50 off. Use code BigCourt50 off and get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan. One free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Salute.
What were your musical influences growing up in Atlanta at that time?
Oh, it was Goody Mob and Outkast.
Okay.
You know, we talking about the 90s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I graduated in 01. So, during that time.
01 from high school, college?
Yeah, from high school.
Mm-hmm.
From high school. And
Damn.
then college,
You young.
05, it's 20 years.
Oh, shit, you young.
Yeah, man, I'm 41.
Oh, I graduated in 94. I feel like an old nigga.
No, you know,
I'm
because
always the oldest nigga in the room?
But
like?
no, let me hit you with this though, Court. What happens is after we turn 30, everybody's the same age all the way up to 60.
Yay.
Why you say
Yeah.
that? What?
Because I mean, everybody's on the same wavelength. I mean, nobody. First of all, the black don't crack.
That's right.
Exactly.
You
Unless
gonna
smoke
age
crack.
all the way up. Exactly.
Smoke crack, you know, crack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like I said, once you turn 28, you're gonna be the same age until you go ahead and let the grades hang out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Time, I'm like, wait, do I call you Miss?
Yeah,
Do I call
exactly.
you like, yeah.
You grown.
Look
So,
good.
I mean, from 30 to 60, they all the same age. But
Yeah.
for me, I was looking at Clark and I was like, you know what? I loved, the school was known for communications as well.
Mhm.
So I knew that would be a good choice for me to go to a school that was known for it.
Mhm.
And then I went over there, man, and I didn't even know where the radio station was at. I didn't have a real point of reference to getting on the radio, but it was between education and communication too, because I was thinking about being an educator because I got a few teachers in my family as well.
Oh, wow.
So that wasn't nothing for me to say, okay, my aunties, they some teachers.
Yeah.
My sister, she a teacher.
Right.
So, I mean, I should probably be able to get a job teaching
Yeah.
if I go to school and get an education.
That's kind of a calling, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So but I don't mind sharing the information.
Right.
So that's one of the
Right.
things that I was like, you know what? This is something that I definitely want to do as a plan B or
Yeah.
just in the long run, you know, after I finish with the media part of things. I might not want to be in the media field as forever. So then I can go and retire to teaching and get them people the information that I got firsthand knowledge on.
Right.
So, you know, one of my classmates, he was actually already working at a radio station at that time.
Mhm.
So he got me a volunteership, which I thought was an internship at the time. And then once I got in there, I was volunteering, and then I was able to kind of, you know, parlay my way into a internship in the promotions department.
Was that with Rashawn Ali?
No, Rashawn, I was probably about 5 years in. I was working as a board op. And then I was trying to get into the Hot 107.9 studio. And then I hollered at my boy Akini, who was the producer of their show at the time. And I was like, Akini, I'm trying to get in there with y'all, man. Can
Yeah.
you teach me some stuff? What the
Yeah.
hell's going on? I got to learn something
Yeah.
because I had just got into the game. So I didn't know how to do nothing. But, you know, the only way you're going to learn is to be a part.
Right.
So Akini brought me in as an assistant producer.
Mhm.
And I was getting paid a little something extra to be able to do that extra work.
Yeah.
But at that time, you know, I was working with her,
Mhm.
Akini, Griff, Beyonce, Empress Cersei.
Mhm.
I mean, some of the best radio talents that ever graced the airwaves in Atlanta. So I was
Wow.
able to learn from them firsthand exactly how to do a great show. But then also I was learning from Akini, who was a master producer at that time. So that's the other part.
Mhm.
You know, you got to know how to be able to produce it as
Right.
well. Because
Exactly.
if you can produce it, then you really going to be a problem because
Mhm.
nobody can stop you because
That's
you
right.
know how to do it.
Exactly.
So I actually learned how to do that from Akini, just putting promos together and just understanding, you know, the dynamics of a great conversation,
Mhm.
what makes a conversation go, and how to really keep a show moving.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I learned those things, but then you seeing folks like Griff and Rashawn Ali and Empress Cersei delivering that content
Mhm.
and making the show fun,
Yeah,
funny,
for sure.
entertaining, educational, and informative at the same
Right,
time.
exactly.
So, you know, being able to be around that firsthand, it rubs off on you and you say, you know what, I'm about to go and do this too.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about being an intern for Rashawn Ali specifically.
Oh, I mean, Rashawn is a A-Town Decatur city girl. So, I mean, it was like working with my sister, okay? It's like, you know what, let me just make sure she got everything she needs. But Rashawn, Rashawn is one of those people that I really admire her.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a leader.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a real deal leader.
For sure.
Okay, and you can't put pants on that. You can't say that because she ain't a man, she don't know how to lead.
Yeah.
She know how to do what she does.
Yeah.
Okay, and she has that talent, but she has the gift of gab as well. But then she has what they call the it factor.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody don't have it.
That's
Rashawn is one of those it girls. It's like, okay,
Right.
God gave you what you got,
Yeah.
and you know how to do what you do. Okay, so she gonna shine regardless of wherever the hell she show up at because she has that kind of a personality. And being able to be around that, when you're around these people of status, they also showing you how to deal with folks out here in the community. I'm seeing how she's dealing with the listeners. I'm seeing how she's dealing with her fans and stuff like that. And it reminds me to remain humble throughout my career to know that, hey man, I'm just another person just like everybody else. So I need to show up as myself. Also, she allowed me to see a real Atlanta Decatur girl showing up as herself every day to work. She didn't try to be nothing that she wasn't.
Right.
She was herself.
Yeah.
So that also inspired me to say, you know what? Well, I can be myself too.
That's right.
I ain't got to come in here and try to
That's
be some
the secret
kind of
sauce right there.
Exactly. I ain't
Be
got to be
yourself.
Brian Gumble. I can be high and keep it moving.
That's a
You
fact.
see what I'm saying?
Fact.
Oh
But
my
she
God,
know how to cut it on and cut it off.
Yeah.
Now me, I have a hard time cutting it off. I just leave mine kind of on a little bit all the way to the end. But she knew how to cut it on and cut it off. I'm still working on that.
Yeah, she do. I think
Yeah.
that's a good. We discussed that too in
Yeah.
the interview, man. That's a good balance to have.
Exactly.
Same thing with me. You gotta be bilingual. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? You gotta be able to speak both of them. I
Come
can go to the projects and I can go to the boardroom.
You damn right.
You know what I mean?
You got to be able to because,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole part of moving the culture forward and with the
Exactly.
communication side of
That's
it.
right.
Because
That's right.
If you can't articulate what you want, guess what? You ain't going to get what you want.
That part.
You see what I'm saying?
That part.
Come on.
So talk about your first major job that you got at the radio station. Where was that? And man,
Okay.
did you feel like I've arrived?
Well, when I first got on the air, I was overnights on the weekends. It was Saturday morning, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And when I got that shift, that was me finally getting on the air and getting a chance to do my thing. So being able to be on the air, I called all my homeboys and my mama them said, hey, man, y'all got to cut on the radio because I'm going to be on at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And, if they weren't leaving the club, nobody would listen.
Right.
I put it like that.
Right.
But except for me and my mama, okay? I'd be on the phone with my mama at 2 a.m. like, Mom, you hear what I've been here doing or whatever? Well, I talk to her. But besides that, I would go in there and I would crank that doggone show up. I mean, but at that time, though, I got on the air in 2008. So we talking about a crunk Atlanta, a futuristic Atlanta, a swagged out Atlanta. So the party scene was rolling straight through my show. Everybody would be tuned in because they would be at the club and leaving the club. So it wasn't like nobody hearing me either.
Right.
It was going down
Right.
still. And so what I wound up doing while doing that shift, my homeboy, I started producing for DJ Drama with Trendsetter Sense and Don Cannon,
Shout out to
Gangsta
DJ
Wheels
Drama.
Radio. What up, though, Drum Sense Cannon? And since he was another mentor of mine along the way, okay? And I'd be sitting there producing the show, learning from them because they the affiliates, okay? The biggest DJ crew, in the city, just purely dominating radio and the streets at the same time. And being able to see them, how they worked and how they ran their business, that's what inspired me to be able to do what I did later on. And conversations with Drama later on inspired me as well. But sitting there with Sense said, B, what is it that you're trying to do, man? I said, man, I'm trying to be big like Drama.
Yeah.
He said, well, he gave me like 3 different things to do. But I was married with kids, so it was only so much in the streets I was going to be.
That's
You
right.
see what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
only so much networking I'm going to be
That's
doing.
a fact.
I got all these doggone
I know
kids
that
gotta watch.
struggle. I know
You
that
see what I'm
struggle.
saying?
Yeah.
So the one thing he did tell me to do was interviews. He said, can you do interviews on your show? I said, my show don't come on at 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, ain't nobody trying to be on that. And he was like, when you better start doing interviews. I don't care what time that show come on, you better do the interview. So I started cranking those things up, and I just basically started going through my phone, and I stared reaching out to anybody who had a mouth on their head and said, hey, man, you come in here and talk to me.
Yeah.
So I would record them during the day when I would be producing Magic Middays with Carol Blackman. She's another radio legend in Atlanta. I mean, Carol's one of the greatest female voices that ever graced the airwaves in Atlanta. Okay, and I learned a lot working directly up under her as far as interviewing, because she was a great interviewer. And DJ Drummer, he was another great conversationalist and interviewer as well.
For sure.
So I was working with both of them at the same time, being able to soak up the game from them in real time on how to warm people up, the kind of energy you need to have, how to prepare for an interview. But then I'm also producing at the same time too. So I'm helping them come up with the questions to ask and everything else that's going on. So, you know, I was learning how to put on a great show by working with great people. And when I started to apply that to what I was doing in overnight, it got hot as hell. I mean, folks started lining up to come in on the show. So now it's 2:00 in the morning. But I got, you know, I got Freeway Rick Ross on the radio with me at 2:00 in the morning. I got Jay Prince on the radio with me at 2:00 in the morning. I got all kinds. I got Gip Goody with me on at 2:00 in the morning. I got all of these folks coming in, and now it's starting to take off a little bit, and people started to recognize. But what I brought to the game was the camera. I learned that while I was at Clark. See, while I was in school, my professor, Will, he was like, the future of radio is internet radio. So at the time, we didn't have Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. We're talking about 2004, 2005. So the whole time I was working in radio, I was looking for the internet. I was like, okay, where is this doggone internet component that I know is going to be the future, but I got to find it so I can add it to what I got going on. And I discovered that through YouTube. So what I did was I just started growing the platform organically through YouTube. And I knew that, you know, nobody really understood what I was doing in there. I mean, at that time.
You was ahead of the curve.
Like, it was like 2011. I mean, the only people that were really putting stuff on YouTube at that time was Vlad, The Breakfast Club, and Sway.
And Natural Hair Girls.
Wow.
So it really wasn't a lot. Definitely in radio, it wasn't nobody trying to record nothing, because this is the thing that people don't understand about radio. When you're working in radio, a work day is when you got a lot of interviews. Because you got to think, a regular radio show, you got 4 talk breaks. You got the, you know, teases, and then your long talk breaks, which might be 2 to 3 minutes. So in actuality, you might be working 7 minutes an hour.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? You actually working 7 minutes an hour, you know, just talking. So when you got an interview, now you done interview somebody for a whole hour just in there talking for, you used to working 40 minutes for a whole doggone shift. You see what I'm saying? But then you look up and now you done interviewed all day, so that was work. So a lot of people really weren't trying to do that kind of work at that time either, because they were like, why am I doing that? I'm on the air. You know?
What are the components of a good interview in your professional opinion?
The best components of an interview are interviews that answer questions and your curiosity. Okay, they have to you have to learn something from that interview. You got to learn something about the person that you didn't know beforehand. Also, you know, it's the vibe, it's the conversation. If you got somebody that's willing to talk, then you really are going to be out of there. Research, that's really the bottom line. Research will buy you time until somebody finally opens up. Because sometimes you might get somebody that's like, I ain't saying nothing. And then by the time you get to the 20th question, because you know, research, they're like, you know what, man? You see what I'm saying? They're wide open. So you got to have that research, because if you go in there and you don't got those questions, that interview is going to be you.
Hey, so Zero did us like that. So we got probably to 50 minutes in.
What's up, world? It's your boy, Big Court of the Holdin Court Podcast, and I am the co-founder of the OG Network. And if you're enjoying this episode and you want to watch the full episode, then what I need you to do is go download the OG Network. Available on Roku, Google Play, Fire TV, and Apple Mobile. And again, if you liking this and you want to watch the full episode, because we only giving you a little bit over here, go watch the full episode on OG Network. Go download the app now. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Salute.